The general evaluator?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, so honey, you're off the hook. Okay, the general evaluator?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, so honey, you're off the hook. Okay, the general evaluator?
Yes, I can do that.
Hello? I'm sorry, can you guys hear me? I think there's a... Hello, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, but I keep hearing the same question and Ray saying that she could do it.
Sorry, that might have been me. I started live streaming and I had the window open, so I think it was playing twice, but I closed it. So we should be good, hopefully.
I thought we were just on deja vu.
Anyway, good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Welcome to the new year, 2021. Last year has been quite the year. A lot of changes that we've gone through, including meeting in this platform. And as we continue to meet in this platform, hopefully we have a lot to look forward in the new year in 2021. Maybe one day soon we'll be meeting up in person so we could all join up and see each other's faces, have the camaraderie that is very, very well known for this club, and we can enjoy each other's company soon. Today we have a great meeting planned, and right now we're going to be calling up the meeting roles. The first person to be calling up is the topics master, Tyler. Tyler, take it away, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tyler. I will be the topics master for today, and what that means is we've got 2 sessions for speaking in our meeting today. We have our prepared speeches and we have the unprepared speeches. I will be leading the unprepared speeches in asking you all a bunch of questions about, well, you'll find out when we get there, and then you have 1 to 2 minutes to answer, and then the next person will go. All right, Kitty Ma.
Thank you. The next person to be calling up is the general evaluator, and she'll be calling up her team of supporters. Ray?
Thank you. The first person I'd like to call up is John, who is grammarian and word master. John.
Thank you, Ray. Today I'll be the grammarian, which means I will be responsible for paying close attention to the speeches and the table topics. I listen carefully to the language usage, and I'll take note of improper language as well as outstanding words, quotes, thoughts. I'll also look for the word picture of the day. Today I'll also be the word master. The word for the day, word of the day is picayune, which means of little value or significance, petty or small-minded. So a penny is a picayune part of our monetary system, is an example of use, and I'll put that in the chat right now. Madam General Evaluator. You're muted, Ray.
I'm sorry. The next person I'd like to introduce is Earl, the counter. Listen up.
Thank you, Ms. Ray. When we speak, we have a tendency to rely on crutch words and filler words when we have trouble remembering what we're trying to say. Some of these picayune words include well, so. I worked with somebody who used to say actually a lot. It was actually. So as the counter, I will make note of when people rely on those crutch words. That way, when we're aware that we're doing these things, we can take some action to fix them. And as listen up, I will listen to all the speeches, think of some good questions to ask everybody, and quiz everyone at the end of the meeting. Back to you, Miss General Evaluator.
Thank you, Earl. The next person we have is Donnell, who is the timer.
Good morning, everybody. I'm the timer today. At this point, I think we only have one speech, but it's a 5 to 7 minute speech. And somebody else is going to be actually holding it since I'm speaking, but
I have timer cards.
I'm sorry.
I have timer cards. I can do that for you, Donnell.
Okay. All right. So at the 5 minute mark, you're going to see, I'm going to see the green. 6 minute mark, I'll see yellow. And the red, I'll at 7 minutes. And then I have 30 seconds to wrap it up after that. For our table topics, same process. You got 2 minutes. At 1 minute, you see the green card. 1.5, you'll see this, the yellow, and 2 minutes, you see red. And you will have 30 seconds to wrap it up. And for your evaluations, it's 2 to 3 minutes. So 2 minutes, 2:30, 3 minutes, 30 seconds to wrap it up. And that concludes my role description.
Kidema, did anyone else get picked?
Earl
The,
was vote counter.
okay, Earl, okay.
So when we have our meetings, it's important to recognize a job well done. And Donnell, I haven't heard your speech, but I can already tell you are the best speaker for this meeting. But as vote counter, we can still vote on the best table topic. So I'll put a poll up in the Zoom window so everyone can vote on who you feel is the best table topic speaker. And then we'll acknowledge that person at the end of the meeting. Back to you, Mrs. General Evaluator.
Thank you. All right. Now, Donnell, did you send me your introduction or your speech title?
I do that, Ray.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. Thanks. Sorry, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. So today's prepared speech is by Donnell Phillips. His speeches are always a pleasure to listen to, never of picayune value in any way. His path is motivational strategies, project number 2, evaluation and feedback. The title of his speech is, I think we need to have a conversation. His speech time range is 5 to 7 minutes. Donnell is an advanced communicator bronze and is beginning his journey into pathways with his second speech. Today, he will be discussing difficult conversations. Donnell, whenever you're ready, thank you.
Toastmaster of the day, members and guests. Have you ever had a conversation with someone and it was hard to get through to them? My mom used to say that, sorry about that. My mom used to say that talking to this person is like talking to a brick wall. Have you ever told somebody, I think we need to have a conversation? Or maybe someone told that to you. Folks, those things tell me there's a difficult conversation is going to happen. When I was in high school, the last job that I had, I worked at a grocery store. Now, 3 blocks away from this grocery store was a steakhouse. During my lunchtime, I decided to walk up to the steakhouse and have lunch. So I get to the steakhouse, and the way to situate it, you get your tray, you place your order, they'll cook the food, give you your food, get your ticket. And I did that. After you're finished eating, you take the ticket to the register, you pay for your meal, you're on your way. So I get my food, get my ticket, sit down at my booth. I'm eating my food. Now, eventually, it's time for me to go back to work. So I'm looking for my ticket, but I can't find it. I look under my seat, look under the table, it's nowhere to be found. Now I'm getting pressed for time. So I get up. I go to the cashier and say, hey, I'm sorry. I don't have my ticket. And she said, oh, no problem. What did you have? I said, I had a burger, fries. She said, okay, it is this amount of money. I gave her the money and I was on my way. I said, bye, thank you, and I'm out. I walk out of the parking lot for the steakhouse and I come up to the next block walking and I hear a commotion behind me. Someone yelling, get back here, you thief! You lowlife, get back here! So I turned around just to ensure this person was talking to me. And yeah, the person was. So I do a 180. I walk right back up to their restaurant. By the time I get inside, the guy that would accuse me of being a thief, I assume he was the busboy. He was an adult guy, and the manager were there. They were just letting me have it. You no good thief, back for it right now. I'm like, this is a misunderstanding. I paid for my food, but they still let me have it. Now, I'm a low-key guy. I try to respect everybody, but I'm getting frustrated. I'm getting angry. My emotions are getting up there. My first tip, when you're having a difficult conversations, don't let your emotions get the best of you. Manage your emotions, because if you don't, that can take away from the message that you're trying to relay. Now they're still going at me and I'm still going at them. Then I'm like, all stop. Second tip, offer a solution. I said, we can settle this right now. There was a blonde, she's about this tall. I told her that I didn't have the ticket. She took my money and I paid. They said, okay. They pulled someone over to the side and said, hey, go look for so-and-so. I forgot her name, been so long. So they went to look for the young lady. So we're still there in a few minutes. Now, mind you, people are in the restaurant looking at this commotion. The person comes back and went to look for her. And guess what? She checked out. She clocked out. She was gone for the day. I'm like, oh man, my only proof. I paid, but now I don't have proof. And I was thinking, while I was on the street, I should have kept it going. I know I paid. I don't have anything to prove to them. That leads me to my third point. You can't always avoid the difficult conversation. Now, I'm certainly not telling you to placate every stranger that try to accuse you of something, but this is more so for loved ones or your boss that you have difficult conversations with. So we're going at it, and the manager just said, finally, just let him go. I said, let me go? I said, you aren't keeping me here. I chose to come back here. So eventually I just leave or walk back to work, but they didn't know I was coming back. So my next work day, I decided to go back there. One thing different. I was looking for the blonde. Before I could find the blonde, the busboy came up to me. And he was, I'm sorry. I was only doing my job. I apologize for calling you a thief. we talked to her and she explained the entire thing. Now that's the best he can do at that point. I accept his apology, but I was thinking all those people in the restaurant that day looking at two grown men berate a teenager, they're probably going to think that I stole something. I said, I would like for that to happen that day. And that would bring me to my fourth and final tip. Don't get tripped up on misconceptions. Now, I don't know what the people that were watching, what they were thinking. I don't know whether they were on my side or their side. Actually, it was it doesn't really matter. And their misconception about me is I physically needed that ticket to pay for my meal. So when you're in difficult conversation, manage your emotions. Offer a solution. Use discernment, because you can't always avoid a difficult conversation, and let go of misconceptions. Toastmaster of the day.
Speech, don't know, for giving advice and trying to stay level-headed in that situation, because I'm pretty sure I'd want to punch someone in the face. Made me want to punch someone in the face just hearing you speak. So I think you handled it quite well. Now we're going to move on to the next portion. Unless someone needs a break, you could raise your hand. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going. We're going to move on to the table topics, and we'll bring up our topic master, Tyler.
Yes.
After you.
Hello, everybody. I am here to do table topics, and we just completed year 2020, and though coronavirus is not over yet, and the feeling of 2020 is probably not going to leave us just yet, the year's end gives us an opportunity for reflection upon the past and reflection towards the future as well. So that's what all my questions are going to be about today. We're going to ask you either how was 2020, or how will 2021 be, and how will you change it for the better? Who would like to take on the challenge? Okay, Sahani. Let's see. What has been the biggest learning experience that you've had in 2020?
Thank you, Tyler, Mr. Table Topics Master. 2020 has definitely provided a lot of lessons. Before we entered 2020, one of the things we always said was hindsight is 2020 and 2020 vision. And there was a lot of catchphrases as we were going from 2019 into 2020 that predicted amazing things ahead with clarity. And at the end of 2020, it became more of a expletive instead of a good thing. So having preconceived conceptions of good or bad going into anything, I think was one of the biggest lessons I learned. 2020, clearly no one expected a world pandemic to shut down entire nations and countries and hospitals. As a podiatrist, I never expected I'd be working in FEMA-like tents in the middle of summer, covered in plastic and PPE. I thought I had a pretty cushy job clipping toenails and doing bunions, but there I was. And if that wasn't surprising enough, Shortly thereafter, we found out we were expecting unexpectedly. So 2020 has been the year of the unexpected, and the lesson that I learned is to expect the unexpected and roll with the punches, because at the end of the day, God will carry you through all of it. And he's probably up there laughing at all of the plans we made at the beginning of 2020 with all of those phrases, looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Zahani, for your answer. Who else would like to take on a question? Daria. All right, Miss Daria, what do you think that your biggest risk will be in 2021?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. One moment, please. May I ask the grammarian for the word of the day? I seem to have missed that.
It's Picayune.
It's Picayune. It's in the chat. Maybe you didn't. Let me put it in there again.
Picayune. Okay, thank you, Mr. Grammarian. Now, my biggest 2021 challenge, Mr. Toastmaster. That would probably be not bringing in the trials of 2020 to 2021. I think the biggest thing for me is to let go of all of the challenges that I thought I had in 2020 and start afresh from midnight 2021. The challenge with that is, in Barbados, we got official lockdown status again at midnight 2021. So it's a little offsetting trying to forget about 2020. I think what I'll do is put calendars all around the house and say this is a new year consistently. All of the things coming in 2021, including the vaccine that I'm a little trepidatious about, but I see that a lot of my friends around the world are very brave and accepting the vaccine. So I'm going to rethink that and hope for the best. So what I'll say, my biggest challenge is living with faith. That's what I'll do. Live with faith. Back to you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
All right, thank you very much, Daria. I think it's very admirable to not let your past baggage bring weight into your present and just focus on what's right in front of you. So great answer, thank you. Who would like to go next? All right, Sean. Sean, what brings you the most joy and how are you going to do more of that? Make sure to unmute yourself first.
Okay. Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. What brings me the most joy, I think, I guess from going into 21 from 2020, I began kind of a self-improvement journey. So just seeing like just the small ticks and getting better at different things that I struggled with, I see that as a plus going forward, and it brings me joy to see kind of the progress that I'm making. And I guess the way to measure the progress is to, of course, practice all of these, practice all of the things that help get me there, and then putting myself out there to have the opportunity to meet the challenge and succeed. So I would say that's the thing that's bringing me joy right now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Sean. Joy is a great thing to have. Anyone else would like to give a table topic speech? All right, Miss Vernell. Let's see. Let's do a fun one. If you could throw a themed New Year's party for yourself, what would the theme be?
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Table Topics Master. If I could throw a theme party for myself, what would it be? Hallelujah! I am rejoicing and getting through 2020, being isolated, missing all my trips, not being able to travel, but I'm still here and I'm still standing. So my theme again is hallelujah. Thanking God for all the things that I do have. I'm in my right mind. I can move around. I can eat. I can cook. I can do my gardening. I can sew. I can read. I can comprehend. I can look at all of your faces on Toastmasters. So hooray. I got a lot to be thankful for. So we have to remember always to think about the good things and then let the things that we don't really want to think about become overshadowed with the good things that we do have. And I like the fact that Sean said personal growth, being thankful, and recognizing that we're not always in control and we have to roll with the punches. And that is definitely true. We're not in control of everything, but we are in control of quite a few things. And those are the things that we need to focus on. So hallelujah.
All right. Thank you, Vernell. What a great theme that is. Indeed. All right. Any other volunteers for the topics of today? I don't see anyone else. So I am going to give it back to Kidema to bring us into our evaluations. She looks maybe frozen.
Great. Thank you, Tyler, for a very interesting table topic. As we look forward to the new year, there's a lot of things to think about. Next, I'd like to call up our general evaluator, who will be calling back up the evaluators as well as the rest of our team. Ray, back to you.
All right, thank you. I'd like to call up the first evaluator, Daria.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. And Toastmasters, hello again. And Donnell, a special hello to you. This was the first time you were doing this speech, yes, Donnell? Thank you very much.
Yeah, this is the first time with that speech, yes.
Okay, wonderful. Now, Donnell, you did a great job. I would say that you excelled at bringing us in. I think everyone was on the edge of their seat, angry at these people calling you in. I think you did the engagement very well. You used your hands extremely well also. Your storying of the message was absolutely impeccably done. You brought your mom into it, and then you focused on the meal example. You brought us into the conversation with having a timeline, having to get your ticket, not getting the ticket, being proactive, and moving it into the next stage by paying the blonde. Now, the blonde seemed to have been the subject of the talk. You may want to work on shifting that, because the blonde, after repeating the blonde so many times, I think there were 6 times that you repeated the blonde. And over here, I got the blonde in this story is the bad guy. So the blonde needs to be minimized a bit, and the repetition needs to be on the conversation that needed to have been had, the conversation that couldn't have been had because the blonde had clocked out, the conversation that needed to have been had, but the guys were calling you thief. All what I as an evaluator would suggest to you is bring the conversation issue to the fore. What could have been in place if the security guard and the manager had been open? What conversation could have taken place if they were a little open to hearing what actually took place? The issue here, again, is the conversation, not the blonde. But I got that it was the blonde. Darn it, she clocked out. What I also want you to challenge yourself with is you have a habit of touching your face and touching your mouth, right? You're very gesticulative. I don't know whether that's a word, but you touch your mouth often. Try to minimize that, although you use your hands very well. And there was another, let me see, 1 second. And you're pausing. The pausing is done well. There are parts of it that you pause a little over time. So much so that I wondered whether you were frozen, right? So there were 3 times that happened. You paused a little much. Otherwise, the story was well weaved so that we got the whole emotion of the conversations that needed to have been had, but were not had. All right? Now, this speech has to be done again. And I hope that I've given you feedback that would bring the second time into a fabulous speech. Okay? You're 2 parts away from fabulous speech right now. The next time will be fabulous. Thank you, Donnell, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Darian, for that evaluation for Donnell. Now I'd like to call up the timers report. Donnell?
Oh, actually, let's see. For the timers report, for my speech, I had the 7:30. For the table topics, Sahani, 1:59. Daria, 1:47. Sean, 1:06. Brunel, 1:33. And honestly, I was listening to the evaluation, trying to take notes, and I did not time the evaluation, so I apologize for that. General evaluator.
All right, thank you. The next report I need is from the counter listen up person. And that's.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator.
Oh,
So for the counter portion, Sean had a few ums and an ah. Kidama had a few ahs, but I was by far the worst, saying ah a lot in the few times that I spoke. But in general, there was not much usage of these picayune words. So now let's move on to the listen up. So where did Donnell eat lunch in his speech?
The steakhouse.
Yes. So I've been, there I go again, watching my weight. So I haven't eaten red meat in a while, but that made me really hungry for a steak. So what were the four points in his speech?
Manage emotions.
Yep, that's one of them.
Solutions.
Use discretion.
Yes, that's part of it, because you can't always avoid a difficult situation. The other two are offer a solution and don't get tripped up on misconceptions. So Hani thought she had a cushy job doing what?
Clipping toenails and something about bunions.
Yeah. And Daria may have some difficulty letting go of the challenge of 2020 because why?
2021 started out with the lockdown in Barbados.
Barbados.
All
Yes.
over again.
So what brings Sean joy?
Personal development.
Yes. So making progress against those personal goals. What's the theme of Vernell's party?
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
That is correct. And what's the word that Daria made up?
Gesticulate.
Gesticulative. So I looked it up and it does not appear to be a word. Gesticulate is a word, but gesticulative is not a word. And that's all I have. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you. The next person I need to call on is the grammarian word master.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. As far as grammar today, I didn't catch a whole lot of or any really bad uses of grammar for the day. The word picayune we had today, which means it's an adjective of little value or significance, petty or small-minded. It was used twice, once by Earl, once by Kidema. I think Earl threw it in one more time at the end there, so that gives him 2. So he will win the word master of the day. For the word picture of the day, I liked how Sahani said she was expectant unexpectedly instead of unexpectedly expectant. So that was a real take on the unexpected nature of 2020, I guess. There was kind of a theme through the whole meeting that everything was adapt and improve. Donnell's speech was about adapting and improving. Daria talked about adapting and improving in Barbados. And so that's how I felt the meeting went. Madam General Evaluator, back to you.
Thank you. General Evaluator comments. I think the meeting as a whole went well. I was running a little bit late, and I apologize for that. I did not print out the agenda when I saw it originally. And if I do that, I tend to get on time into the chat room on time or early. And I apologize for that. But overall, everybody had done the alternative roles for people that they were short of and had everything up and running very smoothly. And I think everybody covered for everyone else as needed. So that's all I have. And I guess I give it to the VP of Education, Tyler.
All right. Thank you, Ray. I believe I'm getting it passed to me because I'm doing the agenda for next meeting. All right. So our next meeting is going to be happening on January 16th. And this will actually be our open house. Now we're going to have a special format of the meeting. Next, we're going to have speaker Paul Artale, who is a very well-known speaker. If you don't know who he is, then he gave the keynote speech at the last, well, not the last, but the Winter Leadership Institute 1 year ago. And it was just a very good presentation. And John was able to get him to attend our open house. We're also going to need a couple speakers to fill in the rest of the meeting and talk on similar topics about, we're kind of going for a theme of new year, new you, acting kind of like if you put in the effort, then you'll get the results. So we're looking for stories about how people have used Toastmasters to improve their lives, what they've gotten out of it, just kind of success stories, and just really inspire people who are going to come to this open house. So if you do have a story like that, then when I get to these speeches, please let me know. We are going to have the Toastmaster of the Day. Who would like to take on this important role for the open house?
Tyler, I think I would like to do that. This is Ray.
Ray? Okay, Ray would like to be the Toastmaster of the Day.
And I won't be giving my speech. I'll wait until the next meeting.
Okay. We also have a Topics Master role. Who would like to be the Topics Master? Daria? All right. Daria would like to be the Topics Master for the next meeting. General Evaluator. John? Grammarian and Word Master. Who wants to just listen to the speeches and pick a word of the day?
I'll do it. Get him up.
Emma? All right. Do we have someone that wants to be the odd counter or listen up? We can just give that to Michelle. Timer, who wants to be the timer for the next meeting? Sean? And vote counter. Who wants to be the vote counter for the next meeting?
You can put me down, Tyler.
I'll put Earl down. All right, speakers. We're looking for 2 speakers. Is anyone interested?
You can put me down for a speech.
Put Earl down.
I'll take one also, Tyler.
John?
I think Jess said that she wanted to speak. Don't remember.
We normally budget for 5 slots, so we really have, well, we could probably fit in 3 speakers.
I'll put Jess down as a backup. How's that?
That's perfect.
And leave Paul Artale as speaker number 3. Okay, now we need 3 evaluators. Sean is the first. Who would like to be the second? I can be the second. And who wants to be the backup evaluator for Jess? I can also give that to Michelle, since she's not here.
You guys are mad.
All right. It seems like we've got the agenda set for the next meeting on January 16th. We will have Ray as the Toastmaster of the day. Daria will be the Topics Master. John will be the General Evaluator. Kittima will be the Grammarian and Wordmaster. Michelle will be the Counter and Listen Up. Sean will be the Timer. Earl will be the Vote Counter. And then we'll have Earl, John, Jess, and Paul giving speech. And Sean, Tyler, and Michelle doing evaluations. Any questions? Well, then I believe I will send it to Earl to do the vote counting.
You already did.
Okay. Yes, I totally spaced on that until just now, but since we only had one category in which to vote, I made it much faster. So our best speaker for today, Donnell, and our best evaluator is Miss Daria. As for table topics, I think it was the toenail clipping and the bunions that put her over the top, but it was today Sahani. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So
It's
it
a-
was a very, very good meeting. I'm sorry, did you have some comment on your toenail clippings? Okay. It was a good meeting. As usual, people were quick to step up and we had holes to fill, and that's something that we're really good at doing. So next meeting, we have the open house. Invite your friends. We're going to make up some flyers. So if you can shoot them off to all your friends, post them wherever. If you know anyone who would like to improve themselves, this is a good opportunity for that. Also, for the contest, if you've completed level 2 or are close to completing level 2, consider participating. It's a good experience. Kittima won table topics 2 years ago, and Miss Vernell won international 2 years ago. Last year was not as much fun since COVID came and we didn't get to go past the club level, but that's okay. But it's a good opportunity, and plus you'll get a chance to meet some of our colleagues. We're looking to try to team up with another club so that we can share resources such as ballot counters, timers, and judges. So if you are interested in participating, being a speaker, please let Tyler know. If you're interested in volunteering and helping out as a ballot counter or a judge or a timer, let me know, or let Tyler know.
Let me know.
Yes.
Yes. And if you sent me an email and I haven't responded to it, you're on the list. And if I've sent you an email and you haven't responded to it, then I'll be following up with you just to see if you want to give a speech or take part.
Okay. Does anyone have anything else?
John had asked about some creative ways to invite people, and this is kind of a last minute idea that I had seen. You know those videos that everybody makes for the holidays where your head is superimposed on some character that's doing a silly dance?
Right.
If you guys send me some of your headshots, I can make one for us as an open house invite that we can share on social media, which might be just funny to send. So my email address is on there. You can shoot that. I probably will not be there for the open house or the speech contest because I may be in labor by then. So you can put me down as a backup and say a prayer for me.
Will do. Okay. Anyone have anything else?
No. Good meeting.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a super terrific weekend. We'll
Yeah.
see you later.
In a couple weeks.
Honey,
Have a good
Bye.
day.
Yeah.
Yes,
what's your
ma'am.
baby's name?
I didn't hear you.
What's your baby's name?
Oh, he will be named after the two grandfathers, David Joseph.
Fantastic. May Joseph make his entry perfectly. And we
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate the prayers.
Okay.